Hey people, I thought I'd share this build with yourself. It's for one of my customer. This is the final version of the system itself. I do like the idea of this RGB fan. There's two, one of the CPU colour, that's the Wrath, AMD's Wrath CPU colour, that stock colour that comes with all the, well, most of the CPU. The case fans with, let me get a closer view, that came with the case. As you can see, it's quite nice sort of emotion, and then on the front of it you've got this nice RGB, and I'm sorry, because of the lighting, daylight, it's not as nice as it is in a real life. Let me see if I can help into that. No, the reality is it's a lot nicer. And the case has got tempered glass on the side and at the front as well, so it's pretty much really nice. Okay, now the important part, what have I used? I'm always wary about picking out cheap boards and this and that, so I've gone for the ASUS Z570 Plus TUF motherboard, and it is solid. It's really good, compatible with most of the stuff that I mean all the stuff I should say I bought, and you know, it's pretty decent board for its price. I could not go anything beyond that, because then I'm going over the price, you know, and anything lower than that I'd be cheaping out. So this was the best out of the lot, basically. So the other thing is, sorry, the other important thing what I've used is the SUPANOVA. This I'm really a big fan of these power supplies. These are backed with 10-year manufacturer guarantee with all 100% Japanese capacitors, and it's a fully modular power supply, 650 watts, more than enough, so that's the second best part. For the hard drives, I've used the M.2 970 Pro, made by Samsung. That comes with a 5-year manufacturer warranty. It's a 512GB. I did a bench test, the HDD test, and I'll do that very shortly. It's around about 3,000 something and a 4 kilobytes read and write speed. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, that's thumbs up for this one. Then I've used the Vengeance's 16GB of DDR4. There we go, if you can get this. Okay, I'm not too bothered about the clocks, the clock speed here, purely because of the fact that when you actually do a real-time comparison between a 3200 and a 20, there's minute difference. It's not worth paying that extra money, you know, for my customer's use. So I'm not making him spend unnecessary cash. However, what I did make him spend is basically on this beast. Oh my god, 8 cores, 16 thread, absolutely phenomenal. What a beast it is. I'm gonna cover the serial number. There we go, that's that. And initial plan was to go for the Intel i7 9700K, but because of he does all the photo editing and rendering and things like that, the extra thread will actually increase the performance. It has, going off the benchmark test on YouTube, that the comparison between i7 9700K versus the AMD RYZEN 3800X, there is almost 35% increase on the performance when it comes to that. On the gaming side of it, they're pretty much head on head basically, but in terms of rendering, encoding and compressing and things like that, absolutely a beast of a processor. So the initial plan changed from an i7 onto the AMD platform. I wasn't a big fan of AMD platform in the previous years, but now I'm going to be looking forward to building systems. You know, I feel that the AMD processors are more value for money versus Intel. I understand that I am a hardcore of Intel CPUs, but now I'm getting second opinion on based on the AMD's processors are being so good. So let's go and have a quick closer look on the monitor. And let me get the mouse here. I've got to watch the camcorder's battery's not so. Okay, let's get the control panel and system. Okay, and what do we have here? Let's get a bit of a closer view. Let's see if I can get a bit of a closer view. Yep. Okay, so AMD RYZEN 3800X 8-core with 16 thread. Wow, absolutely amazing. 16 gig of RAM, using Windows 10 Professional 64-bit. And it's all ready and activated to go. Now let's just do a very quick. Right, I'll just do a quick right. Just one other thing. That's the utility for the Samsung Magician, and it quite clearly shows that it's pretty. Let me sort of see what I'm doing, because I can't see what I'm doing here with this bloody. Finger. Let me zoom out. Yeah, so that's pretty good there. You can see the health of the actual drive. Pretty amazing. Close that down and just stay focused on this. I'm not going to let it finish because that probably is going to take it's going to take a good 5 minutes, which I'm not looking forward to, but let it be. And initially, the agreement was that I'll throw in a Samsung Pro Series SSD, the conventional SSDs, not the M.2 version of it. But realistically, thinking about it, the performance difference and the price difference, yes, there is a price difference, not by far, because in recent years the SSD drives prices have dropped significantly. So for that reason, I thought I'll treat the customer and get one of these PCI-E M.2 version of the SSDs thrown into the system basically, and look at the read and write. I mean, the read speed at the moment, write will follow. I think the write was just round about 1800 plus, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. We'll find out pretty shortly. And it's just amazing. It's probably on an average, a Samsung Pro Series SSD drives would give out about 520 megabytes per second. So when you compare that versus this single drive, this is near enough equivalent to 6 Samsung Pro Series SSDs, the 2.5-inch drives, versus one of this M.2 version. So I think I've made the right decision for the customer. While that's happening, let me just show you the utility what I'm using to show the threads on. There you go. Absolutely, just relaxing, and the fan speed is all been configured. I do like the RGB cooler, man. Honestly, this is just absolutely amazing. This, I really like this cooler. Whereas with the Intel, they've cheaped out and they're not sort of supplying any sort of heatsink with the processors. So, as I said before, I'm really impressed, and I will be sort of considering AMD for the future builds. So look at the results, absolutely phenomenal from the Samsung M.2. That's like the read side of it is like equivalent to, as I said, 6 SSDs, and the write is probably equivalent to 4 or 5 SSDs for the 2.5-inch drives. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to wait for that to finish, and then I think we'll sort of we'll end the video. But beside that, I mean, it's pretty, you know, while it's doing what it's doing, let me sort of, it's got all these utilities, and don't get me wrong, ASUS had these utilities very, you know, quite a while ago, and you can look at the CPU frequency, the voltages, the temperature, CPU temperature, system motherboard temperature, and it's fan speed. Absolutely phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. How things have come about on computing. Back in early 2000, the computings were a little bit of a different matter. You know, nothing was as advanced as this, but I built a very powerful PC on my YouTube channel back in 2008 stroke 2009, and that sent me back over £3,000 back in those days. Yeah, that's the results, all done. That's the results. So I think it's been a great achievement. Everything's working. System has been tested for stress testing with Prime 95, so it is a crucial part to try and sort of make sure that the system is running quite stable. One other thing I did forget to mention is that I've put a NVIDIA QUADRO K620 graphic card on there, purely because of the fact that he'd be using it for graphic based work. So this type of card is designed for that level of use. It's a workstation based video card, and they are quite expensive. You're talking at anything in the region of, brand new, anything in the region of £250. That's that. So, and the other thing is the cabling side of it is done quite neatly. As you can see, it is a bit of a ghosty sort of an cloudy sort of an effect, because I've not taken the layer of the protective, the tampered glass protective layer off. I want the customer to do that. But the cabling, as you can see, is very neat and tidy. Very rarely you can see anything that's out about that you can pinpoint, and that's how it should be. It should be a professional finish. You know, these are premium systems. They're not £500 and £300 system. They're premium systems, so it needs to be built in that manner. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Look after yourself, all the best, and have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye for now.